All right, let's go. I don't know if it's just me, but it feels like things have been a little off for the past couple of days.
If you're seeing this, I'm probably dead.
We've gone from being a country obsessed with substitute butter to a nation that condones, I can't believe he's my brother. Even website captchas are taking a stand to make sure their voices are heard.
I think I'm at a point in life where I can officially say that I'm conservative. And it's crazy because out of all my years of life or years of voting, I've never really labeled myself to any party. But, you know, growing up, you know, especially black, all you do is just vote blue, vote Democratic, but you don't even really know why. You just do it because your folks tell you to. And everybody in your family do the same thing. And if you ever think to look at the other side, they kind of look at you crazy. But the older I've gotten, I'm like, bro, like my beliefs, my morals, it all aligns with being conservative.
And while it's true that with the tragedy of his passing comes millions of new Charlie Kirks all over the world, we can't forget that the same can be said about the recent suspension over at ABC, as we may now have millions of new Jimmy Kimmels being created everywhere. And to honor the fact that there are only 38 days left until Halloween, here's a guy who's been showing up at work for the past 22 years, dressed up as a lying piece of shit.
Hospitals get any more overcrowded, they're going to have to make some very tough choices about who gets an ICU bed. That choice doesn't seem so tough to me. Vaccinated person having a heart attack? Yes, come right on in. We'll take care of you. Unvaccinated guy who gobbled horse goo? Rest in peace, Wheezy. Fox News has severed bow ties with Tucker Carlson. After all these years, they are parting ways, which means he was fired. I mean, that's really what parting ways means. What a shock. I mean, what an absolutely delightful shock this is. One of the most despicable mother Tuckers ever to appear on American television.
Well, if there's one thing that Tucker has shown us, it's that the one that laughs last laughs best. So, Jimmy, while times are definitely long overdue for some much needed changing over at ABC, possibly at your local McDonald's as well, and it's definitely kind of weird that this is what you insist on watching when you need to pinch off an extremely tight loaf.
You've done a terrible job. You've been terrible at everything you've done. You're ultra liberal and we don't want you here. We don't want you anywhere. You're fired.
At least now we have an answer to give liberals when they ask, so who's gonna pick our crops?
You're fired.
I haven't seen such injustice since the left tried to cancel this 9-year-old Chiefs fan for dressing up to support his team at a home game. Am I the only one who misses how it was before, when we used to live in simpler times? So while it is time for Kimmel to walk slowly towards the bright light, and one more Jimmy would complete the trio, ABC has a rare opportunity to do one of the funniest things in television history and replace Kimmel with Adam Carolla.
All progressive guys cross their legs like women. What they do, literally, it's a sign. It's I cross my legs. As I cross my leg, it'll hike up my top leg, pant leg, and it'll expose my colorful sock. And then you'll know where I'm at.
All right, let's talk some financial news, and we'll start right here with the sexiest guy in crypto, talking about the sexiness of banks.
Banks, it's very sexy when you close a deal with the bank, and we do that sometimes, but they're very slow movers. They're very slow to execute. They're very conservative. They're never going to be Ripple success stories, and it's hard to get them to push the benefits down to their customers because that's risky for them, and then it highlights where they're inefficient.
And this was encouraging from Charles Hoskinson. Great meeting today. XRP Nation, the Ripple folks did really well, as did A16Z. A lot more work to do, but great progress is being made on bipartisan legislation being passed this year. Of course, we had the quarter-point interest rate cut from the Fed and Jerome Powell, but now all eyes move to October 29th, where the current odds show an 84% chance of another quarter-point cut and a 4% chance of a half-point rate cut. It's hard to gauge from Powell's latest remarks on which way he may be leaning.
Jay Powell in the House, dropping lie bombs every day, disrupting the markets, making the weaklings sway, guiding the Fed with my acerbic might. Watch me tear you retards apart day and night. I thrive on your tears till you're financially defeated. You thought you had the upper hand this month. Bitch, you conceded. I'm the master of this game. You're just pawns in my sight. I'll fuck you with my policies and fuck your moms at night.
A big congratulations to Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. I feel so lucky for so many reasons, and marrying Tara this past weekend takes the cake. This next chapter of life is so much sweeter with you. This was pretty interesting. A new golden statue of President Trump holding a Bitcoin has been placed outside the U.S. Capitol.
I think there's really three things that people are kind of paying attention to. The first is the United States government at some point is going to announce that they're buying Bitcoin. Creating the initial Bitcoin kind of strategic reserve and sitting the Bitcoin that we already had there was good. But that's kind of the, not the main dish. The main dish is when they start buying, and I think that will happen at some point.
Huge news right here. Very excited to share that BlackRock and VanEck tokenized fund holders can redeem shares for the trading pair RLUSD/ETH 24/7 through Securitize, and soon to come through the trading pair RLUSD/XRPL. And this is who Tom Lee says will be the biggest beneficiaries of the Federal Reserve cutting interest rates.
So I'm looking at September 98 and September 2024 as the playbook, because those are both years where the Fed was on extended pause and they cut in September. The number one trade is NASDAQ 100. So I think that's why the Mag 7 and the AI trade gets a lot of lift off. The second is monetary liquidity sensitivity, global central banks easing. That's Bitcoin and Ethereum, and seasonally strong. I think they could make a monster move in the next 3 months, like huge.
And then this is actually big news that I don't think enough people are paying attention to. Banks to create a supply shock for XRP, and Wall Street's ETF push and supply shock put $10 XRP back on the table. If you go on to read these two articles, it basically says that XRP has a good chance to make some big waves quite soon. This is because crypto exchanges like Coinbase are running low on XRP, down 90% from 970 million to about 99 million tokens, because big buyers are buying it and holding it. Why? The article speculates that big banks like Citibank and JPMorgan are jumping on board, using XRP for super cheap global payments, saving up to 80% on costs. Plus, new laws are making it easier for banks to dive into crypto. With less XRP available and demand soaring, $10 XRP is not out of the question in the near future. And I don't know about you guys, but I always find it hard to decide how much crypto to keep on an exchange versus how much to store securely in my own wallet. Every time I see another hack or an exchange blow up, I always get that feeling like that could be me next time. That's why I started using iTrust Capital's premium custody account. iTrust gives you industrial level security with Coinbase Prime, Fidelity, and Fireblocks. Plus, you can also trade your coins at any time. And if you're new, iTrust is giving you a $100 funding bonus when you use my code below. iTrust uses something called a closed loop system. This means I can buy, sell, and hold over 80 different assets, but the crypto itself can't just get sent out to random wallets. It can only be withdrawn directly to my secure and verified bank account. That takes a lot of the risk of how you store your funds off the table. You don't have to worry about late night wallet drains or malicious phishing attacks. The other great thing about iTrust is that they have an excellent customer support team. You can call them up and a real person in the US will pick up the phone and help you with whatever you need. So I am partnered with iTrust. That's why they're offering the $100 funding bonus, but I actually use them as well, because to me, protecting your crypto should be the first move you make, not the last. All right, let's take a look at some of the other top headlines, and we'll start right here with this, because I think we can all agree that it seems appropriate that a couple months ago, Charlie said this.
That I think Elon and Trump will reconcile.
And now at the Charlie Kirk Memorial, we are seeing this.
Well, Elon came over and said hello. And no, it's nothing to do with that. I thought it was nice. You know, he came over, had a little conversation. We had a very good relationship, but it was nice that he came over.
And when they got back home, old feelings picked up as if no time had passed at all. Of course, there was no shortage of amazing speakers at the Charlie send-off event. It was great to see that Ben Carson was there to say a few words, not because his speech was that good, but rather it was just a positive affirmation to see that black people are allowed inside a Nazi rally.
And I remember thinking back then, I'm going to admit to you guys, I was a little skeptical. I said, college campuses, you're going to do that? Why don't you start somewhere easier, like, for example, communist Cuba?
If Charlie's memorial did have a silver lining, it was the reuniting of Don and Elon. It really felt like the old gang is getting back together. On the other hand, for Donnie, it's always hard when your side chick starts to catch feelings. Maybe it's just me, but I thought this was pretty wild. According to the betting prediction market website Kalshi, the US is 7 times more likely to confirm aliens exist than Tim Walz is to win the next presidential election.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah! What comes next after designating Antifa a terrorist organization?
We're going to designate too, but we're going to look at the people that funded Antifa, see who they are, where they came from, and why they did. Have you seen Portland at all? Have you taken a look what's happening in Portland? It's, I mean, this has been going on for years. It's just people out of control. They're crazy. We're going to stop that very soon. We have to get rid of a couple of other problems first. We're going to get rid of the problems in Memphis where you can't even walk a block without getting shot. We're going to get rid of the problems in Chicago. Chicago's a great city and we have to save it.
And I know they're not going to take my idea on how we go about saving these cities, but hear me out on this one. This story just won't go away. Brigitte Macron will provide legal photo evidence confirming she is in fact a woman, this according to the BBC. And here is a look at one of the jurors after learning about the news.
And check this out, because I've been watching the market closely, and it feels like something big is shifting. September is usually dead quiet, but right now whales are hoarding Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP in massive $200 to $500 million chunks, and you barely see it at all on the charts. It seems like a clear signal that a breakout is coming. That's why I'm using NOMY to stack passive income and actually grow my assets instead of just holding and watching. And I want to thank them for sponsoring this video. With NOMY, you can earn up to 154% APY across 800 plus assets with a full capital guarantee and a $7 billion insurance reserve. You can see my deposits in staking, launch pool, and margin trading. If you're holding right now, this is the moment to make your digital assets work harder. Links below to check out NOMY, and of course, do your own research.
Yeah, what are we seeing? You know, Donald Trump being underwater, Democrats saying, oh, this guarantees us we're going to fly high in the midterms. Let me tell you, this guarantees you nothing, because at this particular point, the Democrats are the New Orleans Saints of political parties. What are we talking about? Trust the Dems or GOP more on the economy? Who leads on the economy? Republicans by 7. Immigration, Republicans by 13. How about crime, a big issue for Donald Trump and the Republicans? Look at that, lead by 22 points. So the bottom line is this, at this particular point, the ball may be on the ground, but the Democrats have not picked up the ball and running with it. If anything, at this particular point, it's the Republicans who are running with the ball on the top issues, the economy, immigration, and crime.
What's one thing on your bucket list?
To make America great again. To make America so great like it's never been before. That is my only thing. That's what I live for. I want to turn this country around. We've been abused by other nations for years. We've been taken advantage of by everybody. We've been laughed at and we've been scoffed at. Very simply to make America great again.
So you know I'll be watching and I'll keep you updated with any new information. Just remember that long before progressives felt the need to tell you that they don't drive it because of Elon, conservatives used to tell you that they don't drive it because they're a murderer. Sometimes you just have to be thankful for what you get, like when Cory Booker and Kash Patel literally do the actual meme for all of us on live TV.
It's my time, not yours.
My God.
It is my time.
There's no test to find out where someone falls on the liberal spectrum, but just watch. There will be signs.
You're not even.
Stay back.
You're not even filming
Yes,
me.
I fucking am.
Look at the camera.
Yes, I am fucking filming you. Don't you fucking go nowhere. The police, 911 has been called.
Check again. You're not filming me.
You're a jackass. I am filming you.
I think it's perfectly clear what it's time for all of us to do. If you're Jimmy Kimmel, you probably want to learn how to code. But for the rest of us, let's just open up our arms, our minds, and our hearts, and let's do it in an arena that promotes open discourse and viewpoint equality, because that's what Charlie would have wanted. Oh yeah, and never stop dancing.
Trump was right. I have been eating cats and dogs.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
And if you have a couple more minutes, you may have missed my last video where we talk about dates for XRP to hit 450. And of course, some more truth talks, not designed to invite hate, but instead to promote thought and question so that maybe we can start to get a clearer look at each other's diversified points of view. Until the next time, be safe.